After almost 2 years away, we are back out here at Spoaks MotoPark in Lockhart, Texas. We are about an hour east of Austin, an hour north of San Antonio, and 3 hours west of Houston. This is kind of central Texas, and man, this dirt is great. They've got the kids track prepped, they've got the pro track ready, they've even got the sand track prepped, and the trail system should be amazing today. There is a swap meet, there's demo days out here. This will be a fun time. So let's get unpacked and geared up. Let's start by checking out the property. All right, so when you get here, this is the shack to sign in. You do have to stop, you have to sign waivers, you have to pay. They do accept cash and credit card. It is $40 for big bikes, $30 for trails only. And if you've got a kid riding, the kids track is only 20 bucks. They've got a lot to do here, kind of a big property, and it is busy today. This is awesome, man. It's so cool to see. Got parking all over the place. They did used to race out on this main track. They do still do Torx racing, like GNCC trail racing. Check out the main track, the big track. First thing I noticed is when I pulled in, there's gates right here. There used to be a starting gate right here back when they did racing, but since they're not doing too much racing on the big track right now, they pulled these gates out. I'm gonna ask to see if they're moving them to the other track that they're calling the pro track now. We'll see, but as of right now, there's no gates on this big track. But man, this track is gorgeous. Check out the dirt, check out the layout. It is a big, long track. It gets really rutted in the turns, but they do a fantastic job of grooming it when they groom it. Be sure to follow them on social media because they post which track is open, what the hours are, and the conditions. They are known to also change their pricing based on conditions. So if it's dry, if there's no water on the track and it's ungroomed, they might charge less. So call them, message them. They're very good about being responsive, but it's definitely a big track. Let's go do a lap and figure out if we like it. So it's been 2 years since I've been here. This will be my sight lap. I want to find a safe place to enter. Probably wasn't the best, but it'll work. So I like to film my sight laps for a few reasons. One of which is I haven't been here, or I haven't been here before, and I get to go slow. But also, you get to see my first impressions. Oh man, like I said, deep ruts. This track gets rutted up really well. This is a jumping track for sure, too. If you like the jump, if you like ruts, if you like the train, I can't even see those ruts. Man. I'm terrible at ruts. So the MX factory does a lot of training out here on both this track and the other track on the property. If you ride like me, you should take your class. This should be coming up on a lap. It is. I will say, it's hard to figure out where you should enter and exit this track. So be very careful. I would say this is not a very beginner-friendly track. If you are new to dirt bikes, if you don't like ruts and you don't like jumps, this is not a place you should check out. Doesn't mean you shouldn't check out the park. Just this track is a bit aggressive for a newer rider. The dirt is fantastic. You got a mix of clay and loam in there. The clay holds the jump faces really well. They're not rutted up, but the turns are more of that loam, that deep dark soil. It's going to hold that moisture and build those lines out. They've only been open for a couple hours today, so the fact that those ruts are that big already is awesome if you like ruts. I mentioned that they do training, so today's event is actually put on by Riders to Racers. They're doing this all girls training camp right now. They've got a group of girls out here, some that are brand new riders, some that are just honing their skills. These guys are doing an awesome job getting people on bikes. I love it. So out towards the back of the property, they have about 10 miles of single track trails. I'm gonna go check that out in a bit, but first I wanna go explore the other track. What is this that I see over here? There used to be a vet track. It looks like this might be more of like a turn track. I wonder which direction it goes though. So that's something I like about bigger properties that have multiple riding options, is when they give you signage to say, where are you going? What is going on here? So I don't know if this is a track, if this is part of the trails, if this is for kids. Might just be a connector. Because the single track trails are back here. But that's an exit to the trail. Now the trails all should be marked, but there's not a do not enter sign there. Signage would be very useful for sure. All right, let's go check out the other half of the property. So Spokes is open most weekends, but as with most motocross facilities, call before you haul. Make sure you know what they've got going on. They do allow camping, primitive camping. There are no RV hookups, there's no water. It is just porta potties. Ooh, lots of stuff for sale. So kids track is right on the right when you first enter. You go past the kids track, follow this dirt road back, and there are two other riding places. Three-ish, I guess you could say three. On the left here is their new GP loop. Let's go do a loop of this. All right, there we go. We got some signage on this one. I love it. This is a free-flowing track through the trees. Natural terrain, no real jumps. This would be good for a beginner to ride on. Just don't fall into the cactus. They've expanded this quite a bit since I was last here. This is pretty cool. Wait, what? Okay. All right, there we go. It does loop back around. Now, being as that was like a parking area, I would have suggested putting a flag there too to say which direction to go, so that you don't have somebody jumping on the wrong direction from that spot. There's a flag here. I guess they just recently expanded it to that part. It's pretty loose, but it's not sandy, so this is good. You get to learn about losing traction without being in sugar sand. Because you can slide it, lock it up, and slide into the turns. But there's no ruts. As I said in the last track, I hate ruts. I'm just not good at them. Did I miss the turn? What's going on? What? See? This is where signs would be useful. so confused now. Let's just go this way and see what's going on. No, this looks like it's back at an access road. I'm so confused. Legit don't know why I'm going this way. Alright guys, Spokes, if you're watching this, please put some more signs out because I legitimately just got lost. Now I know where I am, but I know where I'm not, and I'm not still on that GP track. I don't know where to go. Alright, let's stop and talk about that real quick. Just the idea behind that. So something I've said for years is that I do these videos for people who have not been to the facilities before to help them understand what to expect. When you are a new visitor to a park, knowing what to expect of the facility is amazing. So not having signage for somebody new coming in, you're like, I don't know what to do, where to go. Yes, you could ask people at the front and they can kind of give you directions, but unless you've got a private tour guide or signage, I didn't feel like I made a wrong turn on that track, but I got lost and had to follow the fence line back to the main track. As somebody who's been here before and ridden that track in a different layout, I'm confused. Past that GP track is this track out here. This used to be called the sand track. I'm not sure what they're calling it now, but you can see from the dust cloud, it is pretty dry out here. This track was not prepped like the previous one was. Let's go do a lap of this track and see what we think. Got a nice triple of sorts there. So the gentleman in front of me, is like the track manager of sorts. I've ridden with him before. Real solid guy. He offered to take me on a tour of the place. I don't think he knows that I'm behind him right now. I like the flow so far. It's like ups and downs and through the trees. I also like that the jumps are all tabletops for the most part. There are some doubles like this one right here. I can see it's a double, but that's weird that it goes sideways. I'm sure that's fine for some people, but oh, cool. Like a gator back. Now they had built a quad out here a while ago. Right, a double section. Different distances. Good for training, not good for beginners. But you can roll it like you see me doing. Like an anthill, kind of. I love high-low lines like this. All right, that's a lap. Let's pull up and talk about it. So this sand track is more of an intermediate track than the other one. So if you're fresh to riding, you can come and ride this track. It's not good for smaller kids that haven't learned how to ride yet. That's what the kids track is about. We'll get to that one in a minute. But this track was fun. I really like this track. And just a slight lap, I enjoyed it. There are challenging levels of jumps. There's some that you could roll very easily, some that you can push yourself to progress on, and some that might scare you. And that's okay, because in order to progress, you have to push yourself. This is also not as sandy as I recall. I've got a decent tire on the back, but you don't need anything like an MX-14 or a paddle tire. So don't let that scare you. It's not that sandy. Regular MX-34 or intermediate style tire would be totally fine. Let's grab one of the RARs and go check out the kids track real quick. So the kids track is One of my son's favorite kids tracks in the area. And I think because it's so smooth. There's my son. He asked me not to be behind him. He thinks that if I'm behind him, I'm gonna make him go too fast. When he was doing laps earlier, he said it's about a half-mile lap. They recently expanded this track too, which is awesome. They brought it all the way back here. I think having a good kids track is always a great idea because it means families can ride together, not just the dads or the moms who are fast. Like, if I go to a track, hey, it goes that way too. If I go to a track that doesn't have a kids track and I can't bring my kids, it's not nearly as much fun. And this is a solid kids track. I mean, that's a lap right there. I think my son over-exaggerated a bit. That was 0.3 miles. But I think it's a solid kids track. As far as the layout goes, gives good options. You've got insides, outsides, even rollers, some jumps that you can get some air on, which is cool for little kids. I like it. Totally worth 20 bucks to have my kid ride this.
I love it when the kids tracks are busy. I love it seeing kids on dirt bikes. That's why we do this. We want our kids to enjoy it so we can enjoy it so that the world can have more riders. It's awesome. I still really like Spoaks MotoPark. It's a really cool facility. It's got a lot of variability for riding. You've got the tracks, you've got the trails, you've got different skill levels of tracks, and the kids track is just so good. I mean, my kids love to come here, so that makes it easier for me to say, I want to make that 3-hour drive. As I mentioned before, make sure you follow them on social media. That way you can see what days they're open, which tracks are open, and call before you haul. I'll put all the information down below in the description. That way you can find it pretty easily. Highly recommend making this trip out if you're that Tri-City area of Houston, Austin, San Antonio. It's well worth the drive. I'd say this is pretty easily a 2.5-hour track. On a day like today, absolutely a 3-hour drive. I think that this is a great facility for events like this, where you've got all these people out here at one time. It didn't feel overly busy, so that's a good thing. I say that, but I also didn't spend a whole lot of time on the big track, so maybe that's where a lot of the riders were. Even on the trails, I didn't feel like there were too many people out there. I saw like 6 people when making the full loop. So overall, very good day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.